Hey, what's up, Connects out there in High Vibes? In today's video, I just want to put, basically, your life's not a game, so I'm just going to get into it right away. So basically, I know a lot of people out there, either if you're just starting on your spiritual path, but your life's not a game to be, gambled with, basically. Your life is actually supposed to be, you learning stuff and actually doing things in your life and your reality. It's just not where you live life, you live and you laugh and then you die and you go to heaven, Your life's not a joke, it's not a game. But also is like a game at the same time, because there's different aspects of duality here that you have to understand in order to, reach the higher perspectives. And the way to do that is by becoming spiritual and actually meditating, so that way you can get to higher perspectives and actually understand this message to its fullest capabilities, basically. So you want to make sure that you're actually, understanding and understanding eventually, or overstanding and eventually understanding that your life's not a game to be gambled with. You want to make sure that you actually take your life serious to a degree, but also make sure to have the fun and balance with it. Take it seriously, but have the fun with it, and make sure that it's balanced with it. Because if you're too much on one polarity, things are going to start to happen where it causes unbalancedness, which actually causes you to go back in certain cycles and things like that. But you want to make sure that you're balancing out both aspects of everything that's in your life, and making sure you're taking what you have in this reality at the moment, not for granted, or thinking that you can just live life and you can just go and die and eventually nothing happens. Of course, there are going to be these people out there that don't care about their lives and things like that. But do you really care about your life and actually really making a choice in your life that actually betters it and actually helps better other people's lives? Not just for yourself, because not just for other people, but for yourself. It's because you're actually changing yourself and who you are, and actually going within by becoming a spiritual person. That's why it's important to become spiritual, because a lot of these people in this world, there's not enough love in this world. There's a lot of people that are egotistical, hateful. Just when I was actually just charging, I was out just having my shirt off. They were trying to tell me to put my shirt back on, and at some point they called me disgusting. And these are little kids. That goes to show basically that this world is messed up. It's like, what type of person are you that raises your kids, tell people to be that way, or, sit there and call someone disgusting and stuff like that, just because they're out in nature and they're actually getting in tune, That just shows how out of tune children are and how out of tune the parents are and the generations that we have nowadays. So that's why it's actually important for people that are watching this, to get in tune with your spirit, and not just be like, I can just follow my ego and have these different type of programs and scripts running on me that actually are actually helping myself or other people around me. It's actually bringing people in the lower vibration to a point where, you're unconscious, you're just going with the flow of the ego. There's actually the flow of spirit, and then there's the flow of ego. I've always talked about going with the flow of spirit, but if you're not actually flowing with spirit, then what are you flowing with? It goes the same thing if what you're connecting with. So if you're connecting with the ego, you're going to be going the flow with the ego. And there's a lot of people that are flowing with the ego, basically, and on that current of the ego, and on that hive mind status where they're actually flowing with the ego type of status, basically. And that's when you become spiritual, people get activated because your flow is actually a different flow than what theirs is. If someone's left-brained and they're all super egotistical, and you're flowing with spirit, that creative energy that's flowing within you in your energy field, that's going to start to affect people, and it's actually going to cause people to get activated. Agents will get activated and things like that. And you'll see how things change in your life, basically, because of what are you doing as a spiritual person, and how when you start to take your life seriously, people will come around and try to make you not take life seriously. They think that it's all about being carefree and all these different type of things, but it's not. It's okay to have being spiritual and being out in nature and just being carefree. That's a good thing, but there's when people get things confused and mixed in with the ego, you have to be able to distinguish your ego from your spirit and being on the SNS instead of the ego's SNS, basically, that ego SNS, which is not your spirit. Well, just the ego, basically, navigation system, basically. We'll call it that, basically. But you want to be on the spiritual SNS where you're actually being guided by your spirit, so that way you're not just flowing with ego type of programming. It's actually causing you to make fun of people and do all these different type of things and stuff like that. But you can use your ego to protect yourself. If someone's trying to make fun of you, to defend yourself, basically. Just have the balance with it, and don't stoop to a level where you become the agent and you're actually attacking people for for certain reasons, whatever reason that you have out there. That's the reason that you're going to have or figure out the balance in your life. But also you just flow with spirit and watch how that changes your life. Watch how when you take your life seriously and you actually start to really want to better your life and actually change it for what you really should be doing in your life. You don't have to take my word for it. If you don't think that's what you should be doing, then that's fine. That's your choice and that's your opinion. But you want to make sure that you actually take in consideration that your life's not some game, and that you may not have another life if you follow the ego. You know, if you follow the ego, you will go down a path that doesn't lead you anywhere. It leads you back into the matrix, you know. That's why they create roundabouts and stuff, and having certain programs and cycles in the grids basically that make you go in a loop, you know. And that's why they can try to connect the grids with highways, you know. It's just all different types of forms of connections that they try to make and to get in people's subconscious minds basically. And you want to make sure that you become aware of your subconscious mind, because they don't want you to realize, you know, all the different information that's flowing around. Because if you start to become aware of these things, you know, you're actually going to be able to help protect yourself and actually help spread a message that actually helps people raise up and make people realize that, you know, your life's not a game to be gambled with. And I know I keep repeating it and saying it, but they like to keep repeating it, so I have to repeat what I have to say to people, because it's actually important to actually people to understand, overstand, and understand, you know, times 3 basically, to, you know, be in that present moment with spirit and not being taken out of that moment where you're just flowing with the ego. You know, I went shopping just the other day and I saw a lot of people how basically, you know, the ego, the hive mind, how it even gets more deeper than what, you know, it seems. It's just that people are just on this hive mind, so they listen to the music, they get with the programs. There's people trying to run scripts on people. It's just this network of hive mind mentality basically that's getting people to get entrapped, and people are so awed by this type of system that they can't even use their conscious mind to think, all right, you know, why is it this music's playing like this? You know, why is the lighting a certain way? Why is it that there are certain people wearing certain things to get me into a certain mind state? You know, think about that type of stuff and start to be actually consciously aware of what's really going on in your environment and the things that other people are trying to do. You know, there's all sorts of different type of energy that are flowing and all this type of stuff that are people trying to get you basically locked down into a mind state where you're actually just going with what, you know, buying stuff, you know, believing that buying stuff makes you happy. You know, it's okay to have nice stuff. You know, I got, you know, I'm pretty lit up right now. You know, good vibes only, but, you know, there's a balance to everything. You know, you can have the good vibes, but don't let people come in and try to ruin those good vibes with those low vibes. You know, it's like, also, yeah, that's what I want to talk about real quick. You know, spread the high vibes, not the low vibes, you know. Like that little girl was doing, trying to send me negative energy, basically. But I was like, I just took that energy, and I was like, thanks for the free energy, you know. If you want to, if it doesn't matter if, like, whoever's sending the energy, I'm going to take that energy for free, basically, and transmute that, and let that energy be for free. Well, not for free, but be a more positive energy, basically. But anyways, you know, what type of energy are you flowing out through the grids? You know, what type of energy are you sending through the grids? Is it a low vibe or a high vibe? You know, you want to make sure that you send the highest vibes that you can throughout the grid so it changes, because there's a lot of people that are sending out the low vibes, you know, the vibing with the lower energy, not enough people vibing with the higher energy. So you want to make sure you vibe with that high frequency energy, and you buzz and you turn up the heat and the volume of your energies and your frequency so people can't actually stop you in your momentum in life, because, you know, it's important for you to be good in life, you know, have a good life, you know. But, you know, make sure you turn up and actually take in consideration that your life's not a joke. Really think about it. Take some time to actually go into nature and actually listen to, and actually just listen to what I'm actually saying, or go into nature and actually follow your spirit and see what spirit actually has in store for you, because spirit has a, you know, a plan for everybody. There's a destiny for everybody. It's if you want to follow that destiny or follow the ego's destiny of destruction and chaos and a dead end, basically. But that's all I want to say in this video. You know, make sure that you actually turn up and actually take in consideration that your life's not a joke. But yeah, I'll end it with that. Peace in and out with my highest vibrations and my full love to all those watching and my gratitude.